I know that most of us here, if all of us, don't necessarily hold to the rabbinic idea that it is forbidden to drive on Shabbat, right? So the rabbinic notion being you're not allowed to kindle a fire on Shabbat, therefore you cannot turn on your car. All right, it's an interesting thought, and we can get into the merits of it another time. But let's presume it's permissible to drive on Shabbat. Is it permissible to go to the gas station on Shabbat?
No.
Because then you're doing business, right? You're paying someone and you're getting a service, a resource in return. Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you are planning to drive a couple hours to get to service because the nearest Messianic community is 2 hours away, whatever the case may be, does it make sense to be running on E Friday afternoon? Right? Or if you know you want to get to service and you know you cannot buy fuel on Shabbat, you say, okay, let me make sure my vehicle is full of gas before the sun goes down on Friday. I do this every week. The last place I stop on my way home is the gas station. Like, that way, if we've got to go and service, or maybe there's a dinner somewhere we're going to celebrate, I don't even have to think about it. It's always done. It's always ready to go. On Thursdays, I go to Trader Joe's because I know the challah is coming in on Thursday, and it'll be soft and fluffy. You got to squeeze the loaves to make sure, because every now and then something's been sitting there for a couple weeks that's a little stale. So you squeeze the loaves, nice squishy ones, right? I ask Sophia to actually set the Shabbat table. You know, most meals, I get up at 4 in the morning a lot of the time. Other times, my alarm goes off and disturbs my poor wife at 4 in the morning, and then I roll over like a log, you know. But a lot of the time, I get up early in the morning, and I'm leaving the door while other people are getting up. So we don't eat breakfast together. We don't do that a lot of the time because our schedules are different. But on Friday, I have Sophia set the Shabbat table, right? I have Rose set the candles up. I go out and get the challah. We get this thing and we pull out the special china. We pull out the special butter knife and all the various things that are going to make it a special evening. And then we actually sit down together, which is not something that, you know, our schedules are really synced up to do the rest of the time. But guess what? I'm not dashing off to work on Shabbat. There's no other place I need to be, right? So we actually create a situation to honor it. Do you have? Is it a mitzvah? Does it say in Hezekiah chapter 2 verse 3 to light candles, eat bread, and drink grape juice on Shabbat?
No.
No, it doesn't. Hezekiah chapter 2 verse 3 says a lot of interesting things, because it's the one I always use because it doesn't exist. But point being, there's no book of Hezekiah.
Some of you guys were stumped there.
They're like, I don't remember. So it doesn't say these things, but there is a concept in Judaism about beautifying the command.
Amen.
Now, this notion is making something special.
Yes.
Right? If you are having a date with the person you're hoping of all hopes that you get to marry one day, do you kind of not shower for 5 days, you know, and show up 20 minutes late, and hey man, I forgot to get gas in my car, can you spot me $50, you know? Is that how you approach the situation? Or do you shower, brush your teeth, gargle, floss, make sure you got the deodorant and the smell good and the nice clothes and the car is washed. You know, you don't open the car door for the young lady, right? And there's like greasy burger wrappers sitting in the seat, right? You're right, ew, right? You know, and like, oh sorry, just throw those in the back, why don't you? You don't do those things when you're trying to show how special this other person is to you, right? So you Take that feeling of this person's special and I want to show them that they're special, and you set up everything. You set yourself, you set your car, you wash that car, you vacuum it, right? You do all those nice things, and you maybe bring some nice flowers. You create the situation to say, you are special to me. And I want you to know that. I'm not being casual with how I feel about you. And importing that to how we try to do the Shabbat is something that has been beautifully expressed in Judaism for many generations.
Yes.
And I think it's a very practical thing. So when you're approaching, what does that practically look like for me? Well, everybody's house is a little bit different. But how can you set that time and set that space up? If you imagine it like your date night with the Almighty almost, right? Not trying to be like buddy Jesus. I'm not talking that kind of thing. But try to approach it with that kind of an intent to make it special. Yeah? The one time I was coming up on Friday afternoon and I had time for one chore. Clean the kitchen or clean the bathroom. I did not have time to do both. I cleaned the bathroom. Can anybody guess why? Because my kitchen was untidy, but the bathroom was unclean. You know what I'm saying? Right? So at the end of the day, I'm like, look, it's not the tidiest, and I'm not okay with that. That's not great. And I can't say that my kitchen is the tidiest every Shabbat either. I'm not trying to make that assertion. But I said, no, but the bathroom is actually unclean, and I want to sort that out before Shabbat, right? So, yeah.